cover to cover like about 8 times. I couldn't believe how this writer had just entranced me into this beautiful love story. And I just told myself from that point on, I am going to write happily ever afters no matter what.
Okay.
I just believe. And after that, I was like completely transformed into, I want a happily ever after. And that's the basis of all romance. All romance has to be a happily ever after. That means Romeo and Juliet, would you stop calling it a romance? Because it's
It's a
not,
tragedy.
it's a tragedy. A horrible tragedy. So romance promises to you one thing and one thing only, and that is that it has to be a happily ever after, or at least a happily ever after for now.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to do. And then I got into suspenses because, you know, from Detroit, everything is a suspense. You wake up
Right.
in the morning, you don't know if you're going to come back home.
What? Yeah, and that's a sad fact for some.
So, but suspense has always attracted me, and I don't think there's no real perfect romance without suspense.
Right.
So you have to have suspense, drama, thriller. Yeah, it's always a mystery. So I incorporate those different genres into my romance book. So it's never just a one-sided romance story. You are going to get a 3-dimensional story that's going to really involve a lot of things. So
it's layered.
yeah, just
Okay.
layered, very layered.
Right. Now you talk about a happier ever after. So I understand that you are recently married. And so you tell us a little bit about your happy ever after and how it is important to have your supportive spouse and that.
It is, and it was funny because I was a single mom for like close to almost 20 years, a little bit over 20 years. I was a single mom. And then it got to the point of you start to realize, hey, these people are leaving. And you kind of got your eggs in a row and you're like, oh, okay, well, I think I can, take on a husband.
All right.
And then I just, instead of just thinking about it as a husband, I just decided I'm going to just go find a best friend to marry.
Okay.
And that's
There
what
you
I
go.
did. I found a really great guy who, it's funny because we come from 2 different worlds and we were raised like very different, but we find that we have so much fun together. It's like you remember that 6th grade friend you just never wanted to stop talking to all the time and you wanted to do everything and your mom kept saying, come home, come home, come home.
Right.
That's how I feel with him. Like
Nice.
any day my mom's going to call me and say, come home. You're like, aw, we're having so much fun. So like, yeah, I just went and found my best friend to marry, and it's been great. We've been like a year married now, so just cool, like a sleepover with your best friend every
Okay,
night.
Every night. Cool. That's awesome.
We haven't done pillow
Congratulations.
fights yet, but I don't know. We can make. Yeah, I don't
Right.
know.
What if you say you come from 2 different worlds? If you don't mind me asking, what does he do?
Well, actually, he's a computer developer. He writes software, so he's very analytical. He's
Technical.
Yeah, very technical, very straightforward. Everything has to be like, there's no imagination whatsoever.
Right. Systematic. It's all systems. I know my father's in IT, so it's 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3.
Right,
And
so-
you troubleshoot, then you go all the way back, and then you do 1, 2, 3.
Right, everything has a path. Everything makes sense to him. So when I say something ridiculous, yeah, he just kind of looks at he keeps me in check.
Right.
He's like the string to my balloon. I don't float
Okay.
away because I'm like,
Right.
oh yeah, that doesn't work, does it?
No. Okay. Well, you got to have that balance, so you
Right.
balance each other out. Yeah, the imagination, he's the technicality. It
Right.
should be about even.
Right.
Okay. And you talk about your children. So how have your children influenced your writing and influenced your career as a writer?
It's funny because my daughter asked me that like about a week ago. She was with some friends having a really deep conversation about, me being raised by a single mom. And then she asked, she called me all of a sudden and they were asking if I had the chance to do it all over again, being a single mom, raising kids, the struggles we went through, would I do it all over again or would I go on a different path? And I told her without hesitation that I would have chose the same path that I had been given because I wouldn't be the mom, I wouldn't be the woman, I wouldn't be the sister I am today if it hadn't been me raising kids. they have been a powerful force in getting me out of bed every morning.
Okay.
Getting things done and seeing that there can be a way to do things. I mean, we sit and then we say, hey, God has given us this big load of crap. And they block me from things that I want to do, but actually that load of crap is actually what's good for you.
Right. It's a blessing in disguise.
It's a blessing, and sometimes you know it's not even about taking lemons and making lemonade. It's about doing things and making things work for you, no matter what situation you are in. There's always a path to happiness. Sometimes it's not a straight path, and you just have to, find the path that works for you. Right. And not your path is not someone else's path, and someone else's path is not your path. Right. So you really have to take it all, and that's what I did. My kids made me a stronger, better, more wonderful person from just raising them, and all the trials and tribulations we went through just made me stronger. I'm like, I broke bones, and I just got stronger when I got healed. So that's all I am.
Okay. That's great. Well, shout out to all of the children who make their parents' life hard. You're making them better and stronger.
You just say you're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Say you're welcome. Just go home and say you're welcome.
Exactly. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with Miss Sylvia Hubbard.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about how she uses YouTube and how she's marketed her books and herself.
Yes.
Right here on Live in the D with Mr. BB. Keep up with our conversation on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more talent. Come on, subscribe. Come on.
It's live.
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 In the D with a Mr.
BB.
BB.
It's Live in the D with Mr. BB every Thursday at 9 a.m. right here on WVI 107.3 Radio We Can See.
Hi, this is Penny Love. Come rock it out with me and the crew at our next Zumba class every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at Northwest Activity Center.
SOS Graphic Design provides agency-quality professional graphic design services from established companies to startups and individuals, creating a simple logo to complete rebranding and delivering visual communication with print media. Everything SOS Graphic Design does has a single unifying objective: to set your business apart. We are at your service. Call 313-342-2166. That's 313-342-2166 or online at www.sosgraphicdesigns.com.
But it's still the SOS. We are back. We are back. You are still sitting live in the D with Mr. BB, and we still have Miss Sylvia Herbert on, who is a romance novelist and romance writer and author of over 40 titles, soon to be 50 titles by the end of this year.
Yay.
And we have her on, and she's just been talking about how her family has helped her and her children have inspired her, her spouse has supported her. But we all know that when you write a book, after you write a book, you have just started a business, basically. You just started an entrepreneurial journey, and now you have a responsibility to get that book out in front of your audience and captivate that and find out, you know, who your audience is, where they are, what they're looking for, and discuss with them. So now we're going to talk about the marketing and the advertising part of that side of that. So I heard that you are consistent on YouTube. So how do you use YouTube as a marketing tool for your books and your business?
Well, before I answer that, I want to point out definitely the marketing is a big thing because it's 10% to write the book, 10% to publish the book, but it's 80% to market the book.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't think about that because they're writers, and writers are introverts, but authors are introverts pretending to be extroverts.
Ah.
And that's what you have to really think about, that because you can't be the writer anymore when you're out there selling books. So using digital technology is, I mean, beneficial for anything, especially going into 2020 and on. There's going to be a lot more demand for visual. Definitely a lot more demand. So you should be making book trailers. You should be making short clips. You should be doing interviews not only with yourself, but with other authors, other experts in the industry. It's so many things, like so much content you can create from video. Then, like I said, move it on to podcasting and then move it on to paper. So there's no excuse. I've seen people literally type their books right there on YouTube. Like they have typing parties.
Wow.
Literally. Or write-ins where they are producing content, number one, but they're also getting in that writing time that they need. So there's no excuse for you now that you have, like, the phones now are 100 times more powerful than, you know, anything ever. You have your own media center right in the palm of your hands, literally. So there's no excuse for you not to be producing. So usually on my channel, I am interviewing authors. I'm giving out expert advice. And most times this advice is from the experience I've garnered from just doing things, you know, doing short clips of, hey, this is how I don't procrastinate, or this is why networking is so important, or just things like that, you know. And I'm talking about hands-on experience that I've gone through, but also basic, practical, simple tips that, you know, other writers, authors, anyone can use in order to become better at what they're doing in this business.
Right. And you are one person who has hosted and started literary network themselves.
Right.
So tell us about that, the Motown Writers Network, and how that helps authors and how that can help, you can kind of polish yourself. Again, you're going from that writer who's that introvert who likes to write their stories and it's kind of to themselves to now an author, and you're kind of now, you're a public figure.
Yeah.
You have to be in front of an audience. You're a host because you're the host and you're the cover child for your own book.
Basically.
Right.
Because people buy people now. We know this now from our last election, from just watching Instagram become really popular. But people buy people. So yes, you wrote a great book. Yes, this book is so wonderful and everyone should read it. But you have to get in front of that product now. And with that, if you are an introvert, you got to find your Sasha Fierce.
Right.
Basically, you got to get out there and find your Sasha Fierce and become what you need to be. So with Motown Writers Network, it was basically created, like I said, to assist authors and writers, where we help writers get to their literary goals, but then we connect readers to Michigan authors. So we want to be able to create a strong network, and from 2000 we've created a very powerful network of writers who come to us for advice. We meet every second Saturday at the main library. We do literary platforms, workshops, conferences. We do assist in all areas, and it's become a really great way for, and not only for me to at least uplift Metro Detroit community, but Michigan as a whole, of putting Michigan authors on showcase. So, I mean, I love promoting books, but most of all, I love promoting Michigan authors, and because I want people to know about it. We have a different flavor from anywhere else, so you might as well just read us and love us. So it doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. All right. That's great. So tell us about, do you have any upcoming events? Of course, the Motown Writers Network is every second Saturday, so it'll be in, 3 weeks?
Yep, in 3 weeks. And usually we meet at the library, but the library will be closed for Veterans Day, so we will be across the street at the DIA.
Okay.
So you can always check our website out for locations, time, sign up for updates and reminders. But upcoming this Saturday at the Knapp Library, it's hosting a publishing and marketing workshop that is coming up, and that starts at the Knapp Library, I believe at 11 o'clock. You can come there. And then following that, we'll be in Ferndale for another publishing and marketing class. Oh, good Lord, I have a lot of stuff. I know I do. You know when you're thinking about all your stuff. We also have a holiday party coming up in December. That'll be at the main library. So we ask writers and authors to come, bring a gift, and you'll get a gift. So we have gift exchanges, and then we have a great speaker from Chicago who will be coming in and talking about the real business of putting together publishing companies. So you want to put together a publishing company, you come in to our holiday meeting for that. But yeah, we have so many workshops coming up. You can always check my website at sylviahubbard.com/events. And also for my website itself, we will be doing the 12 days after Christmas. So we're kind of excited about that, because that's really how you're actually supposed to celebrate the 12 days. It's supposed to be after Christmas, not before.
Right.
It originally started after, because it's 12 days till the new year. So we'll be doing the 12 days after Christmas, and we'll be giving away gifts, Kindles, $25 gift cards. So I'm really excited about it. And a mini book will be coming out, which don't count towards the 50 books.
Okay, so don't count that towards 50 books. It's a mini book.
It'll be a mini book for all the participants inside of the 12 days after Christmas. On my website. So yeah, so check us out. You can check me out at sylviahubbard.com, or go to our website at motownwriters.com to find out more information about the Michigan Literary Network.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. My sources tell me that you have another event that should be featured that we should talk about, the Black Advantage event in November.
Yes. Actually, it has been pushed back to February. I just found that out this morning.
Okay.
It will be pushed back by this February, and we are getting great sponsors towards it as well. But like I said, there will be other events I'm actually doing. It's the Urban Author Takeover in November. That is coming up as well, and that'll be in Southfield, which you made me think about that one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And of course, I'll be doing even more workshops, and I'll be doing a blogging intensive in Oak Park in December as well, on December 14th, actually. So you can sign up for that. Blogging has become an awesome thing for writers, for any business. You should be blogging. So I'll be teaching that, and you can ring in the new year by learning more new stuff. So.
Okay. So how do you use blogging and YouTube? And well, you explained YouTube, but what are some other digital tools that you use to promote yourself, of course, and get in front of that audience?
Well, there is, of course, podcasting,
Right.
and then there's so many things, like, of course, using social media. But I think when I say social media, I think people forget about the first word, which is to be social.
Right.
So remember when you were little and your mom said, go be social to your aunt coming in the door, you know, you had to go to your aunt, help her in the door, ask her about her gout, how she doing. And then she gives you a nickel and a kiss, which is the reward. So for social media, you still have to be social. You don't have to ask about their gout, but you still have to, you still have to kind of say, hey, how's everything going? How you doing? Instead of just, hey, I'm going to go and buy my book, buy my book, buy my book.
Right.
You're not selling the book. You're selling a need for people to have what you are offering. So in that terms, you do have to be social.
Right.
But you do have to use social media like breadcrumbs and draw them back to your site. Mark Zuckerberg has all the money in the world. Stop giving him money by pulling people over on Facebook. Pull them back to where you are on your website, so then they can find you, they can relate to you, and they can buy your products, because you need to get in front of them as many as now, at least 7 to 14 times before they make a decision to give you money.
Right. Right.
So using digital tools is necessary, because unfortunately, I can't fly to China every day.
Right. You can't. So how do
I don't have that private plane to New Jersey, so
Yet.
yet, right. So using digital tools in order to get out, like using Skype for book clubs, where you can't make that book club meeting, but you can Skype me, and I can Skype to the Virgin Islands,
Right.
do a book club there. I can Skype everywhere. So all the digital tools that come with it make one individual a powerhouse of ways to get out there in the world. But your job is not just to use these tools, but also to think of ways for people to need what you have to sell. So even though I am a fiction writer and not everybody wants to read fiction, but I tell a story about the trials and tribulations of never knowing your father, and then, wondering why this man kept his family away from you. So it's not just a romance, it's actually a drama, and it's actually a family issues that comes to light that other people can relate to. And they're like, okay, well, now I know why I need to read this book. Now I know why I need to find out more, because I want to know, well, I had this situation, or a friend had this situation, and this is how you either don't deal with it, or this is how you deal with it. And that's what I try to relate to authors, is try to make yourself a necessity instead of, nothing.
Right.
Okay. I really don't need that, but you want to make them really need that information that you are offering, no matter what you're trying to sell them.
I agree. How can authors, upcoming authors and writers get in touch with you if they need assistance or reach out to you?
Definitely. They can always go to my website, like I said, at sylviahubbard.com, or go to motownwriters.com. They can always find me on almost every social media platform by typing in my name, Sylvia Hubbard, and my handle on most social media platforms is Sylvia Hubbard 1, and that's the number 1, so you can always find me there, because I try to be the number 1 Sylvia. So.
Okay. Nice. I like it.
I often do talks on and workshops on being, writing, publishing, and marketing, but also I've been doing talks on being just a mompreneur and trying to be, handle being a busy expert mom.
Right.
And get that stuff done that you need to do, but raise productive children. I always say productive, because anyone can raise children, but to raise productive children is kind of difficult. So That's what I try to do, and I try to teach others how to do it, especially single moms when they feel like, you know, society is against them and everybody's telling you you're going to fail anyway. So I try to get that stigma out of their head and try to bring a positive voice to more women can get out there and do it, raise children, and get your passion and run a business. You know, it's just one step at a time.
Okay. So we thank you for that. So what advice do you give any mother, entrepreneur, anybody wanting to take on a new venture, tackle a new venture, whether it be an entrepreneur, new author, a poet, spouse?
Yes.
What advice would you give someone taking on that new venture?
Number one, get a planner. Get and start writing things down that you want to happen. When we write things down, we make it concrete. Yes, you can put it in your to-do list and then, you know, close that document, but actually get a sheet of paper, write it down, put it up on a wall that you can see every day. Once you start seeing this and start making a time in your schedule. So first get a planner, then start literally making time, number two, for what you want to do. And I usually say just spend 10 minutes a day. Start with 10 minutes a day doing your goals. After 2 weeks, move that up to 20 minutes. Sooner or later, you'll really start seeing the power of those minutes start making sense, and start really looking at time, not in like hours, because 24 hours is not a lot of time. But man, when you start thinking about minutes, that you got a lot of time to do a lot of stuff, and really start breaking it down. And thirdly, never stop trying to do what you need to do. Even if and things are going to get in your way, that's life, you know, but don't let that deter you. Never stop. So those are my three things, you know, planning, time, and definitely never stopping. So, and I always usually tell my parents, you know, it's a plan, pray, parent method.
Right.
One, plan, of course. Plan for everything to go wrong. Number two, pray for expectancy, because you don't ask the king of the world for $5. You ask him for the knowledge to give you in order to get that $5 and even more. But also parent, not only parent your children, where you raise your children around you, not you around your children, but parent yourself, because you tell yourself that I am going to do this dream or I'm going to do this goal, but then you're still stuck. Everyone is stuck at 16 because they grown. Everyone always says, I'm grown, I can do whatever. And then they start telling to themselves, I'm grown. Yeah, I could write that book, but I'm grown, so I'm not going to write that book.
Right.
I want to watch, you know, Grey's Anatomy. I want to go watch this movie, or I want to do this because I'm grown. Well, if you were 8 years old and your parents said, clean that room in an hour, even 5 minutes when you was shoving stuff under your bed, you got that done because your parent told you to. Where, turn around, now you need, as an adult, a parent. So you need to parent yourself.
Okay.
So you need to give yourself rewards and punishments for not doing the things you need to do. That's why when you write that goal down and you see it every day, your parent is telling you, do that thing. And when you don't, you do have to punish yourself. Yes, I will not watch Grey's Anatomy. I'm going to put it on DVR while I write this chapter and then watch it later, because that's what a parent would do. They would punish you. So we need to start just basically parenting ourselves and doing what we need to do and start adulting. Adulting, because yes, you can enjoy life. I'm not saying, you know, hey, work, but there are times when you do have to parent yourself
and get yourself under that
and
discipline.
get it done. Yeah, get it done.
Absolutely. So what are the top 3, top 2, and some of the toughest and the best things about hurdles that you had to overcome, and hurdles and difficulties that come with being an author? Like the best and the worst things that come with it, because it's two sides to every sword.
I'll start with
double-edged.
I'll start with the worst thing. So the top 2 worst things about becoming the author is the marketing.
Okay.
It is because it's exhausting it is because you'd rather be sitting, in a t-shirt and shorts writing a book all the time. But you do have to market. Like I said, it's 80%, so it becomes exhausting. But you have to do it. If you want to sell a book, you have to do it. And the second thing that is worst about it is so much misinformation that is out there and all the research that you have to do in order to make your publishing journey work for you.
Right.
So not everybody's going to have the same publishing journey, even the same writing journey, same publishing journey. Just everyone's not going to have the same literary journey. But trying to find that right journey is out for you. But that misinformation, it's just, that's the worst thing because there's so much stuff out there. People talk about fake news. Well, it's so much fake news in all facets of our lives. And when you're trying to publish a book, there's so much stuff out there that you can fall into, waste so much money, and then have to come all the way back around and start back over. So a lot of people really lose, the passion to do this. And I think Dr. Eddie Connor said one time, he said the best stories are in the graveyard because people just literally, they die before, they publish that great book, that great story. And I just decided that, that wouldn't be me. So the top 2 wonderful things about being a published author.
Yes.
I would say the top thing is when a reader leaves an awesome review.
Okay.
Reviews are a dime a dozen, especially great reviews. And when when a reader comes back and drops a review on Amazon or Goodreads or Barnes and Noble's right on the page where everyone can see, that is the best thing ever. How it changed their life, how they love the book, that, even if they burn their food, I was like, I'm sorry your food got burned, but that's awesome.
Right.
It's awesome for me. So those are awesome. So if you ever read a book, this for anybody, whether you read my books or whether you read any books, leave a review because you just don't know how much you change an author's life and really give them the power to keep going and to create more works just like that. So readers, please leave reviews wherever you go. That's one of the best things about being an author. Number 2, I would say in terms of being an author, I guess I love knowing that people read. I love being in circles of readers. I think it's an honor to when people say I love reading. Just being around readers are really powerful and fun. You get great conversation, number 1.
Right.
Number 2, readers are buyers. So even if you are a business that don't have books, bring books into your business because books are like jeans. They go with everything.
Books are like jeans. Nice.
And number 3, readers, just being in the company of readers is just a magical experience because they're very powerful. They're very wonderful. And I just love it. That's one of the most magnificent things about being an author is that you are appeasing their addiction. So, yes, I love being their addiction. I love being their drug dealer.
Give them the fix, okay?
Right.
All right. What do you, and we talked about your family and the support your mother has given you, your children, your spouse, but to what do you attribute your success?
What do I attribute my success?
Yes.
A lot of prayer.
Okay.
Grace and mercy. That every day, I wake up, like I said, in expectancy, just reaching to be better. So I attribute just the determination inside of myself of that I got to make it happen, that I'm going to make it happen, and that it will happen. So, and that's what I go into. So that's how I attribute my successes. Prayer, lots of prayer, and just going for as if those prayers have been answered.
Right. Because there's no use in praying if you don't take those prayers into action. Yep.
Definitely. It just, and sometimes my husband, of course, like being the analyst that he is, when I say, oh, this is going to happen and I've prayed about it, and he's like, okay, but it hasn't happened. I was like, well, you know what? It's going to, so we're going to work like it is. And
Exactly.
and when it all works out, I said, I'll say you welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And keep it going. But yeah, you have to work in that arena of, it's gonna happen. And I'm not gonna say it's always been a perfect life. My kids and I have gone through so much. We had the fire, then we had, we were homeless for a while. We were, we went through so many things. But in the end, I would say I would not change one bit of what has happened with us and in my life. And I love where I am. I even said that last night. I was like, I kind of like where I've come to, in this point in my life. I'm at a great point. So yeah, prayer works.
Okay. Yes.
And if it doesn't, just do it some more and it'll work.
Exactly. All right. Well, we thank you again for being such a wonderful writer, author, and not only the stories that you have given the public, but also giving back and sharing that and seeing that there's a need for this information and being just a plethora of it. We've covered a lot, and we understand that you are a very busy woman doing a lot. You've got blogs to write, books to write, potential podcasts to do, YouTube. I'm sure maybe even a series one day that you'll be writing.
Hopefully.
But is there anything
giving
else?
me more work to do. He just give me more work after he said I was busy.
Right, yeah, and then I gave you more work. So. So we're not. Is there anything else you'd like to add or leave us with and share?
For the listeners, I would like to say, don't ever think that your story is not good enough. Someone needs it. Your mess is somebody else's message. So get out there and publish those books, tell those stories, so your legacy doesn't die with you. It lives on in someone else's life, that may not have been born yet. So write those books and get those stories out to the world. And for just people who are interested more about me, you can always, like I said, come to the Knapp Library this Saturday. We'll have a workshop there, and you can always visit us on MotownWriters.com or visit me at SylviaHubbard.com or connect with me on social.
On social. All right. Well, we thank you again for your time. We thank you for sharing us. And we appreciate you, and we hope to hear more great, wonderful things, and we look forward to you making it to 50 books, and maybe even double that, who knows?
Yes.
I could just keep giving you more stuff to do.
Yeah. The list goes on.
All right.
Stand in line.
Exactly. You are live in the D with Mr. VB. We are live with Miss Sylvia Hubbard, and we are going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to read Kadira's quote as well as the answer to our question for today. You're alive in the D with Mr. VB. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Time they got left, D?
They got about 10 seconds.
Think they ready?
Someone would find out, man.
I want every genre to stand up and bump to this.
Let's do it.
Grab your strings,
Grab the strings,
your mics, your guitars.
Let's get it poppin'. Who's in the building?
Whatever you got.
Nothing but strings. We
Let's
out.
get it poppin'. Poppin'.
Let's go. It's a part of the song where it breaks down. You know, grab that special lady and bring her to the dance floor. And just
get on your good foot and step just a little bit. Get on your good foot and step just a little bit. Get on your good foot and step just a little bit. Let my music just move when you run the mess. Get on your good foot and step just a little bit.
You're now rocking with nothing but strength.
Just a little bit. Get on your good foot and step.
Get on your good foot.
Let my music just move.
Don't be shy.
Get on your good foot and step just a little bit. Get on your good foot and step just a little bit. Get on your good foot and step just a little bit. Let my music just
Bring the beat back.
SOS Graphic Design provides agency-quality professional graphic design services from established companies to startups and individuals, creating a simple logo to complete rebranding and delivering visual communication with print media. Everything SOS Graphic Design does has a single unifying objective: to set your business apart. We are at your service. Call 313-342-2166. That's 313-342-2166 or online at www.sosgraphicdesigns.com.
Hi, this is Penny Love. Come rock it out with me and the crew at our next Zumba class every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at Northwest Activity Center.
It's live in the D with Mr. BB.
It's Live in the D with Mr. BB every Thursday at 9 a.m. right here on WVI 107.3 Radio We Can See.
That's why I had to say, come follow me, come follow me. That's why I had to say, come follow me, come follow me. Oh, that's why I had to say, come follow me, come follow me now, right now.
She was a bad, nevertheless. Calling it quits now, baby, I'm a wreck.
looking at you sideways, party on tilt. Ooh, certain things you just can't refuse. She wanna ride like a cruise, and I'm not trying to lose. Then you're left in the dust, unless I stuck by ya. You're a sunflower. I think your love would be too much, or you'd be left in the dust, unless I stuck by ya. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower.
Every time I'm leaving on you, you don't make it easy, no. Wish I could be there for you. Give me a reason to. Oh, every time I'm walking out, I can hear you telling me to turn around. Fighting for my trust and you won't back down. Even if we gotta risk it all right now. I know you're scared of the unknown. You don't wanna be alone. I know I always come and go, but it's out of my control. And you'll be left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. I think your love would be too much, or you'll be left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower.
Hi, this is Penny Love. Come rock it out with me and the crew at our next Zumba class every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at Northwest Activity Center.
SOS Graphic Design provides agency-quality professional graphic design services from established companies to startups and individuals, creating a simple logo to complete rebranding and delivering visual communication with print media. Everything SOS Graphic Design does has a single unifying objective: to set your business apart. We are at your service. Call 313-342-2166. That's 313-342-2166, or online at www.sosgraphicdesigns.com.
All right, we are back. We are back. You are still sitting live in the D with Mr. BB, and thank you for sitting with us today. And we want to just thank our guest, Miss Sylvia Hubbard, for coming on with us. You can check her out at sylviahubbard.com or her social media handles at sylviahubbard1 on most of her social medias, especially on Instagram and Facebook. We were able to find it pretty easily. Sylvia Hubbard 1 or sylviahubbard.com. And we thank her again for coming on and sharing with us and giving us information. And now it's time for Kadira's quotes. Kadira's quote brought to you by our very own Kadira of Live in the D with Mr. BB. And this week's quote is da-da-da-da-da-da. She normally does this. This week's quote is: "The secret behind getting ahead is getting started. The secret behind getting ahead is getting started." And we thank Ms. Kadira for her quotes. I like that, yes. If you want to get ahead, you got to start. You got to start somewhere. That's the only way. It's no moving without motion. All right, and to our question of the week. We're going to read that now. How do you kick off the chill of fall settling in? How do you kick off the chill of fall settling in? And we have some comments here. Fall back at my house. Fall kick back at my house. Okay. Fall kick back, so you can have a little get together at the house and invite some people over and keeps it nice and warm. That is a good way to shake off the fall chill. Another one is fire cider knocks the chill away. Fire cider knocks the chill away. And they even sent a picture of the fire cider. Isn't that cool? Fire cider, that's what they call that. Wow. I have to look into that. Fire cider. Another person said they drink a lot of teas. That's a good way to get rid of the chill of fall. And our last commenter said, pumpkin spice lattes. Of course, when that season comes in, this is the season, of course, with holidays right around the corner. Pumpkin spice lattes get popular, and a lot of our viewers and a lot of people love them. Pumpkin spice lattes. It's a good way to kick the chill off. All right, well, we thank you all for joining us today, and we thank you for those of you who commented on our social media, and keep up with us. And be sure to follow us on all of our social medias at It's Mr. BB on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. And we will speak to you next week when we talk to a girl on fire with a Motown sound. We're going to be talking to Miss Gail Carr, who is putting on the Girl on Fire fashion show. We hope to hear from her and as well talk to you some more. But before we go, we're going to have the final thought with Mr. Abdul. What do you got for us, Mr. Abdul? What's your final thought?
My final thought is go out there and enjoy. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Go out there and enjoy your stuff this weekend.
All right. Go enjoy yourself this weekend and be back here with Mr. BB and the Quad Squad next week. Go out and be great, be amazing, be a writer, be spontaneous, be the best you can be, because there's no other like you. And be right here, be back here next week on Live in the D with Mr. BB to talk to us some more. Mr. BB and the Quad Squad are out. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You can beat the world, you can beat the war. You can talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you gon' find yourself
standing in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And the world's gonna know your name.
Yeah.
'Cause you burn with the burst flame.
Yeah.
And the world's gonna know your name.
Yeah.
And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile. You can walk straight through hell with a smile.
You could be the hero, you can get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try?
Do it for your country,